feel better. So much better. Because God is my witness. Some folks can get on for the last word. And if it wasn't for God, temperance. So that's why we need to lay our burdens down. We trying to get it heavy. We go act crazy. How we gonna act crazy? But I thanks be to God who has made all things possible. He is able to do exceedingly more than we can even think. So when I really want to cuss you out, when I really want to, I know it's not of God. I know it's Satan punching me. So I have to say, hold my peace. I have to do what Job said this morning. After God said, wait a minute, boy, who are you? Tell me if you know that. Tell me. Job said, I'm not going to shut my mouth. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till my change come. Because they that wait upon the Lord. That's why we can't speak too quick, because what? If we wait, my spirit. Thank you. We greet you in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Romans 8:28, and we know. That's how the writer starts out. Brother Timmy said, and we know all things works together for the good, for those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Now, let me dissect that. And we know. Children of God, do you know? So that's the question. That's the dilemma. Some of us don't know. That all things, regardless of the situation, regardless of the situation, God is able, and he will make it right. From that verse, God is still in charge. God is still in charge. As we worship today on the final Sunday of the Black History Month, I'm going to ask you to indulge me for a few moments. I'm going to ask your permission. Will you allow me to share with you a young lady's story? If you will, just bear with me. Her name is Linda Blackman Lowry. She was born March the 22nd, 1950. Guess what? That's your pastor's birthday. That's your pastor's year. She and I are the same in age. She was born in Selma, Alabama. She's the oldest of 4 siblings. She and her sisters and brother was reared by her father and her grandmother after her mother died. Now, the reason her mother died is because her mother was denied admittance to the all-white hospital in Selma, Alabama. And as a result of her not being able to get in, to get the care she needed to survive, her mother died. She, Sister Linda, like most of us here, we grew up in that era was used for the segregation that existed in our towns. It was the norm. It was just the norm for the time. If you went up on the corner, there was 2 water fountains. One said colored. One said white. And what amazed me was one line came in, a T at the top, and the water went this way and that way. It was coming from different sources. Same water, but you had to drink from the black fountain, and they drank from the white fountain. It was the norm among the unrest in Black America as we were striving for equality. And as she was growing up, she became involved in the community. The reason a lot of our communities are, for lack of a better word, going to, because we will not get involved in our communities. But she got involved. But like most communities of that time, Brother Evans, there was a white settlement and there was a black settlement. And it was a huge difference, as it was in most towns. South. I was reading in Chatham. It was the white side of town, and then it was called the colored part of town. And it was no blacks existed on this side of town, and no whites existed on this side of town. It's just the way it was, young folk. But this young lady, in her book, she's an author, Sister Erica. Her book is called Turning 15. Turning 15 on the road to freedom. She states that she grew up in an all-black project where she felt safe, where one helped each other out. I can remember that time too. But we don't do that no more, Brother Evans. We don't help one another out anymore. We done got beside ourselves. When one family couldn't pay the rent, the rest of the people, they will come together and have what we call a rent party, and raise the money to give to the family so that they could pay their rent. We would do that because guess what? Next week or next month, it might. It just might be you. There was a oneness, a willingness to help one another out. For tomorrow, you just might be that family that was in need. For her and most of us here today, we grew up poor, but we never knew it. We grew up poor, young folks, but we didn't know it. She was raised in a loving family. Her father was able, he owned his own cab, and he was able to provide for them. Linda's life was typically of all of us during the 60s. But all that changed in the early 1963. What happened? Her grandmother took her to hear Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speak. She tells in the book of how the church was packed. Now look around you. Look around. The church was packed. We could put a few more folks in here, couldn't we? But it was packed. And Brother Coleman, soft music was being And when Dr. King rose to the podium and began to speak, she noticed how everything really got quiet. Everybody's eyes was focused on him. And Dr. King was talking about the right to vote and what it would take for them to get it. Linda states that at 13 years old, Elijah, how old are you, man? Say a little lie. Elijah, so Isaiah, how old are you? 13. 13. She's already involved in the civil rights movement. She said that as Dr. King spoke, she became committed to join his movement. Her friends and her family told her at the age of 13 she was too young to go to jail. So she was designated as a gopher. Anybody know what a gopher is? Go for this? Go for that? Because honey, right now you're not able to go to jail. You're too young. But all of that changed January 2nd, 1965, when Dr. King came back to Selma for a meeting at Brown's Memorial Chapel Church. And it was called Emancipation Day, for it was about freedom. The adults at that time, guess what? They could not march. They could not march for being fearful of reprisal or just trying to register to vote. They could lose their jobs if they tried, if they got in the march. And some white folks saw marching, they would take a picture, turn the picture into the boss man, and they would lose their jobs. So in order to prevent that, they got the young people to march. And they planned 2 or 3 marches a day. Upon hearing this, Linda decided that she too would march. And as a result of taking part in these marches, guess what? I want you to know something. She said she was jailed 9 times before she was 15. You said she was 13, right, Brother Isaiah? Okay. She said she was thrown into a sweat box with 23 other girls. And then after a while, they marched them onto a bus. And as they were being marched, Brother Tim, guess what? They shot them with cattle prods. These children was then taken to the National Guard Armory, where they were made to stand for long hours, packed together like a can of sardines. They didn't get to go home after that. The next thing they knew, they were taken to a prison camp. And after 3 days, they were moved from there, and they were carried even farther from home. Guess what? Your children gone, and you don't know where they are. The parents not knowing where they were. But where they were, she says they were made to eat black-eyed peas 3 times a day, every And during one march, in a nearby town of Selma, a young man by the name of Jimmy Lee Jackson, trying to protect his mother as they were marching and they was running. He ran into a cafe, him and his mother, and a state trooper came in and shot him in the stomach, and he died as a result of that shot. And as a result of that killing, a huge march was called on March the 7th, 1965. That Sunday morning, Linda said she got up, was ready to go with her buddies. And as they reached the top of the Edmund Pettus Bridge, she looked out, and all she could see, as far as she could look, was a sea of white people. The road was full of white men on foot, on horseback. State troopers were there. Sheriff deputies were there. White people along both sides of the road sitting, yelling, and waving Confederate flags. One of the police came up to him and told him, you can't pass. You can't come across here. Turn around and go back to your church. You got 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes. And she said, all the time, and they knelt down to pray. They knelt down to pray. But the troopers was donning gas masks. And suddenly they heard these pop, pop sounds. Clouds of gas was up on them. They could not breathe. She said she was grabbed by a white man and hit in the face with a baton. She said she struggled to get up. He pushed her forward and hit her repeatedly on the back of her head. She said she was knocked out. She came to on a stretcher, being placed in the back of a hearse. Somebody they thought she was dead. She said she survived Bloody Sunday by running for her life. And she said she looked up after she got up. She saw her sister, Joanne. She was in a man arm, unconscious. Linda said she thought she was dead as well. She ran to her. She said she was covered in blood, but yet she was able to slap her sister. And her sister awoke and she saw all the blood on Linda's face, and she began to scream and holler. Linda said she was admitted to the hospital, where she was stitched up without any pain-killing medicine. She said she received 7 stitches over her eye, 28 in the back of her head. But yet on March 21st, 1965, this young lady, one day removed from her 15th birthday, prepared to march from Selma to Montgomery to stand and show the world and God Wallace no beating, no gas could stop her from standing for her rights. She and Holmes Moore arrived in Montgomery on March the 25th, walking all the way there through the rain, sleeping on wet grounds and mud, and they came singing and marching to the Capitol. Linda helped to make a difference in 64. For listen, in her county, there were 14,400 white citizens. There were 15,115 black citizens. All of them eligible to vote. Do arithmetic. It's more blacks there than whites. But of the 9,503 who was registered to vote. 195 of them were white. On August 6, 1965, Congress passed the Voting Rights Act. It was because of people like her who believed that God loved all people, regardless of their color. And going through what she endured was worth it. Why, you ask? Why were getting beaten? Why was it worth it? Well, as a result, black people got a chance to vote, to try and make a difference in the world. And because of her and others, her story, Linda Lowry, is now one of the most sought after speakers throughout the United States. She has received numerous awards for her work. And as I stated, she is the author of turning 15 on the road to Selma. She had moved away. She had moved to New York because she was going everywhere, White House, speaking to everywhere. But she decided to move back to Selma, Alabama. My wife and I, we had the pleasure of meeting her. I was even talking into coming to Monroe, to Hopewell and talk and speak to the church. She believed then and today that in order to make progress, one must first of all know the Lord, and one must trust in Him no matter what, for God is what? Still in charge. Oh yeah. You ought to be shouting, we have to choose. We have to choose. So today, my prayer is that we who love the Lord understand that on this Christian journey, we are going to have some rough days. We're going to have some painful days. As we once again see racism rear its head, causing much hurt in our community. Everybody need to get out of here. But if that's not enough, we got to fight for that. And yet we see blacks fighting one another. Blacks killing one another. Black crime exploding, killing one another over nothing. When will we come together and understand a divided people will only perish? I know you see all the misjustice that's going on in the land. And you're wondering why God is allowing it to happen. Sometimes I know you do, because I do myself. Sometimes you want to question God. Just like the prophet Habakkuk did. Habakkuk asked the Lord, he said, Lord, how long? Oh Lord, how long must I call for help and you don't listen? Why do you make me look at all the evil, the injustice? Why do you tolerate wrong? Destruction and violence is everywhere I look. I look to the left, there's strife. To the right, conflict abounds. The law is paralyzed. What you mean? Justice never prevails. He said the wicked hem in the righteous, so that justice is perverted. Taylor Chapter. What I like about Habakkuk is first, he's a godly man. Matter of fact, he's a prophet of God. So Habakkuk don't mind asking the Lord that which he does not understand. So you need to talk to the and just won't say anything or do anything. If a 13-year-old was willing to fight for rights for her and her people, why so many of us are sitting on our do-nothings, complaining? Anybody here this morning know that you have not because you asked not? Habakkuk asked God, and God responded. God told him, Habakkuk, he said, I'm about to do something that you would not believe if you was told so. But so you believe it. God told Habakkuk, I'm going to allow you to see it for yourself. He said, what I'm about to do, Habakkuk, I'm about to raise up a nation to take care of all the wrongdoers that was among Habakkuk. Have you ever thought about it? Maybe just a little talk with Jesus about the conditions that we are facing, the unjust settings, the rules, the innocent being ignored and treated shameful. If you take just a little time out to speak to Jesus concerning your family, your friends, your neighbor, etc., God just might move on our behalf. He just might move, God. And we may see justice once again. Why? For God is still in charge. No matter how bleak it may seem, no matter what you are experiencing, no matter what you are going through, let me read it to you one more time. All things work together for those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. When we hear that, a lot of times we don't get it. What we hear is we're going to get what we want. We're going to get what we want. But that's the way of thinking. That way of thinking is not a message of God's righteousness at all. That is a message of self-righteousness. Too many people, even Christians, feel that God should be available to ensure that they never face opposition or that they are never subjected to things that hurt their feelings. We will benefit from exploring this concept, correcting some of the misinformation that is being circulated among the saints by seeking understanding of what is actually said. What is actually said? This promise that all things work together for good for those that love the Lord. This promise, it is for believers. It's for believers in Jesus Christ. In effect, Paul says that if you don't love God, you can't claim that promise. If you don't love God, everything isn't someday going to work out for your good. If you do not love God, eternal optimism is not in view. If you don't love God, pessimism is in view for you because all things in your life are not going to work out for God good. You and I, we got to choose to do what God said based on his scripture instead of doing what we feel like doing. When we are busy following his will, then we can see the good that he works in our lives. That's what Habakkuk finally understood. So he resolves himself to say, Lord, I've heard of your fame, and I stand still in heaven at the lightning of your flashing spear. You trample the seas with your horses, churning up great waves. So I know you can do whatever you want to do. So I'm willing. I'll wait patiently for your day of judgment. Matter of fact, I don't care how bad it gets. If the fruit trees, if they don't bud, I'm gonna trust you. If no grapes grow on the vines, I'm gonna trust you. Though the olive trees produce no crop, I'm gonna trust you. Even though the fields produce no food, I'm gonna trust you. Maybe there are no sheep in the pens, I'm gonna trust you. No cattle in the stalls, I'm gonna trust you. You know what? Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rejoice in the Lord. For you, my sovereign Lord, you is my strength. You is my provider. Taylor, here is the greatest truth. God is greater than evil. God, he's in control of the full picture. We only see or feel the threats, but your God and my God, he sees all of the evil, and evil it cannot and it will not win. If you are a child of God, whatever is against us, if we are looking for his ultimate purpose in our lives and in the lives of others around us, God, he will work it out for our good. This promise is reserved for the faithful, the one who put their trust in the fact that God can and he will make all tragedies into victories. Now get this, Romans 8:28, it doesn't say that everything happens to us is good, but God is big enough to take anything that happens in our lives, anything that we give to him, and allow him to use it. Won't he do it? God will take not one thing, but he'll take all things and turn them into our good. You see, some of y'all, you got it twisted. Jesus, Mary's baby, he didn't come to this world to satisfy your sweet tooth. He didn't come to top off your lives with whipping creams and cherries. He came to be the main course, to offer up himself for your salvation. He picked up straighten out your bad stock investment. He came to pay your debt for our sins so that we can have mercy and grace. He didn't come to be your fashion coordinator, to line your closets with the newest fashion. Instead, he came to clothe us with his robe of righteousness, to dress us in his undeserving love, so that you and I might be beautiful for all eternity. In Jesus, we have an unfailing, a God-given guarantee that every single circumstances that life bring to you, if you let God, sooner or later it will turn out well for those that love him. Why? Because God promised that all things work together for good for those that love the Lord. I heard exhort and read. He's a God that cannot lie. He will make a way for you. No matter what you're going through, you just gotta trust him. You may have tears rolling down your eyes, but you gotta hold on. You gotta trust him. There may be discord in our houses, but we gotta preach anyhow. We gotta pray anyhow. But most, we gotta talk to God. God, you promised me. You promised me that everything will be all right. And I don't know about you. I'm going every day. There's something else. Every hour, there's something else. But I have to learn. I gotta hold on. I gotta trust Jesus. He will make it all right. How do I know it? Because God, he's still in charge. He's still is no longer. He's still Alpha and Omega. He's still my strong tower. He's still my burden bearer. He's still my friend. He's still my way maker. He will. Do anybody know it? He will. God is. God is still in charge. No matter what we're going through, and we go through a lot. I heard our Sunday school teacher say, just looking at me on the outside, I look pretty good. But if you could see the inside, I got stuff going on that you don't know about. But I'm trusting. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm trusting. You may be beat. You may be like Linda. You may be beat, talked about, thrown in jail, stabbed in the back. But through it all, I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust in Jesus.